up? We're back with Sour and Sass, episode 2, and I have the great pleasure of having Angie Glass-Liu on the podcast with me. Say what's up to the people.
Hi, nice to see everybody. Great to be here. Really excited, also nervous about this, but happy to be here. Great vibes. I'm excited.
I think you're going to do great. Okay. I don't think you're going to do as much eating as Ding did. He had to rap too at the end, so I don't think you'll have to rap at the end. That you at least get that. What's your title and what do you do? Why are you here?
Why am I here?
I know I invited you, but let them know why.
Let's jump straight into it. My title is Paid Media Manager at Directive Consulting. I'm here to talk about meta ads, I believe.
That is right. You hit the nail on the head. So I got a question just to kick it off because we don't like to do long podcasts because no one wants to hear about B2B marketing for an hour and a half.
Fast.
So let's go ahead. Let's hop into it. So with Meta, most B2B marketers think that it's just for B2C and then they think LinkedIn is strictly for B2B. But I think you've proven that concept to be untrue. So my first question is, why do you think B2B companies are sleeping on Meta and what's the actual performance gap between the two platforms?
That's a great question. I will say that there is some validity to that. LinkedIn has historically always been seen as the main driver of B2B professionalism. That's where my decision buyer is already, and they're in that mindset. Versus on meta ads, you go over there and a lot of times people think that they're in that consumer mindset, which is more so e-commerce. I'm looking to buy a bag or buy some new shoes or feed me like an algorithm that entices me a little bit, not software. So I do get that, but it is changing. And so what I would say, what I've seen recently is that the CPLs are actually cheaper on Meta compared to LinkedIn. And I know that's kind of cliche of, LinkedIn's always expensive, so that makes sense. But you have more accurate targeting on LinkedIn. You're able to get very precise with job titles, whereas Meta is just a bowl of soup and trying to grab the A and see what you can get. But we've seen a lot of success with it, and I honestly think the main attributor to the success with Meta has been primer. What are you doing before you get to the platform? How are you creating these audiences? What does that process look like? So we use primer, we use Zoom info, we create specifically curated TAM lists, and we do a lot of ICP research. And so once we have that audience built out, and then we upload it to Primer. I don't know how familiar you are with Primer or the audience, but it's an audience targeting and activation platform. So basically, there's a couple ways you can do it, but we upload a TAM list into Primer, and then we have it enrich it, and it creates a separate audience that you can upload into Meta that provides a greater one-to-one match rate. So, on Meta, typically people who are signing up for Meta or Facebook are using their private emails, like their personal emails, not their business emails. Primer essentially helps bridge that gap for you.
Thank God.
So that you can have a higher match rate and actually find those people on those B2C platforms, those social platforms. So we use Primer in that way. And then once you have your audience locked down and you have that high match rate, and that's honestly one of the most important things to success with Meta, along with creative rotation. Creative fatigue goes hard. So you need to be rotating things very, very fast. People burn out. Creative fatigue is such a real thing on Meta compared to LinkedIn. Does that
answer the question? And you really went into another question.
Okay. Yeah, let's jump into the other question.
I'm acting like I'm the one eating these. Here's your next one.
Okay.
So let's talk creative. What's the difference between a Meta ad that works versus one that dies in the feed? Like for LinkedIn, what works? And then for Meta, what works differently on Meta than LinkedIn as far as creative goes?
As far as creative?
Yep, there it is.
Honestly, this is such a number 4 answer. It depends. I can use that because I'm a marketer.
Yeah.
It depends. Number 4. Honestly, it's just about testing. It's just about consistent testing, having multiple rounds of creative going at the same time, enough to where, and A/B testing consistently between those multiple rounds to see what resonates with your audience a little bit more. I've seen sometimes where the creative is very successful on LinkedIn, and then it's also successful on Meta. I've seen times where it's more successful on Meta and it's not as successful on LinkedIn. I think it's more about the type of creative that matters most.
Dive into that a little bit. What type of creative you're seeing winning on Meta right now?
Video ads.
Oh, talk about it. Why?
If you want the secret juice, it's video ads, and it's not just on Meta. It's also on LinkedIn. But video ads, using those as prospecting brand awareness, pumping out quick 15-second, 30-second video ads, talking about your product, talking about your software, talking about your company, very engaging. It could be stuff like this where you clip them, get the user excited and learning a little bit more about your product, because we all know with B2B, it's a long, nurturing process.
Yes.
And what do they always say? A picture is worth 1,000 words, so video is 10 times that.
Oh.
I just made that up, actually.
That's
I don't know
fire.
if they
That was
always say
fire.
But a
We
picture
gonna
is
say
worth
it now.
1,000 words, and a video is always going to be 10 times that. So starting off with video at cheaper CPMs and then retargeting at a cheaper cost gets your CPL down. But just to let you guys in on a little bit secret. So going back to our earlier topic of how is LinkedIn more expensive than Meta ads? On paper, yes. On paper, yes. If you're comparing the CPLs on LinkedIn against Meta, the CPLs are going to be cheaper. I'm talking maybe we can see like between like 130 to 300 on Meta and starting at the 3 to 4 range on LinkedIn Plus. I know some people are on 1,000 to 1,300, but they say because the quality is better and you have precise targeting on LinkedIn, it's worth it. You got to take it a little step further. So what you should be doing is running some financial modeling against both platforms, and that's the LTV CAC analysis. So if you're not doing that, that's what you should be doing next. So not looking at the surface level CPL numbers, but you want to look a little bit deeper of how are they progressing throughout the funnel? Are they going to your proposal stage? Are you actually getting bookings? What's your ROI return on that particular channel? And have fun with your pivot tables, have fun with your data analysis, and then compare at that point. So when we get to the LTV CAC analysis, sometimes what we see is that although maybe we spend 100,000 on LinkedIn and maybe only like 30 or 40 on Facebook, the actual CAC, the customer acquisition costs, could be cheaper on LinkedIn or it could be cheaper on Meta. It just depends. So I think that's really important when you're trying to accurately measure out a channel. If it's successful enough, is it actually cheaper? You need to be looking at that level. And I think a lot of people get stuck on the surface level of what is the CPL of it? Is that worth it? Well, what is your CAC? Because what you care about at the end of the day is this making me money? That's what matters, right?
This is true. So then how would you handle the objection that people say, of course, Meta is cheaper than LinkedIn, it's because it's lower intent leads? How would you answer that?
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry. I feel bad for your taste buds, but you'll be fine.
I would say that can happen. That can happen if you don't have the right targeting. 100%. You can get spammy leads, less quality leads. It's happened to us. There's a couple of signals you want to make sure when you're setting up your campaigns to avoid. that. And Meta doesn't make it easy.
Nah.
Their Advantage Plus little program. We've done so many tests on it. Every time that I test it, I'm like, I'm gonna give this a shot. Let's just see. Yes, your CPL goes down, which is kind of what they promise. They don't necessarily promise the quality. But yes, your CPL goes down. I think I did a recent test and it went down like, I think it was like 27% or something like that. But then it was all crappy leads because we had the Advantage Plus audience turned on. Ooh. So basically what that does is it's using Meta's native targeting to say, okay, based on this audience that you're feeding me, like your TAM audience, if there are users that display the same behaviors and have the same interests, because remember, it's very different compared to how LinkedIn has all of their native targeting compared to like companies and job titles and all that stuff. So if they have the same behaviors and interests, we're going to actually fit them into this bucket because they would be more likely to complete the lead form. But oftentimes, like, of course you're going to get spammy leads because if you think about the people who are actively on Meta and completing those lead forms.
Yes.
You don't want the people who are always completing lead forms. That equals spam.
Yes.
So I would say that that statement can be true if you have those things turned on. So make sure you have them turned off. And Meta's very sneaky about being able to turn them off. You have to do it at the very beginning of when you're setting up the campaign and make sure you opt out of any sort of Advantage Plus audience, etc. Because once you make the campaign, say you accidentally opt into it, you can't turn it off.
Ooh.
You have to remake the campaign. So they don't make it easy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm totally getting off track.
No, this is great.
Things,
I know. I really hope Mark Zuckerberg doesn't hear this and like Facebook slap our account.
I still love Meta. I'm just saying, maybe fix your Advantage Plus.
I mean, this flows right into a great question because I think these last two before the lightning round is going to help some B2B marketer out there. Okay. So is there a common mistake you see other B2B marketers making on Meta that you know from experience does not work?
Advantage Plus.
We're going to stay on that one. I like it. Okay.
Advantage Plus. Don't use it. Don't use it for your audience. No, don't use it. I think there's a difference too between turning on the Advantage Plus and using like a lookalike audience. I think there can be specific times where you do see really good quality from the lookalike, but not from the Advantage Plus. But I've never seen it work. Okay. If you somehow have made Advantage Plus work for you, let us know. Yeah. But that's what I would avoid at all costs. Okay. The second thing I would also say is the creative rotation. Okay. That's another big mistake. Not pumping out enough creative to feed that type of platform. It's very different compared to LinkedIn. It needs to be much quicker and a much faster rotation because they show your ads a lot more. The frequency is higher on those B2C platforms. Okay. So
let's talk about that where you just use mistake, right? Because you're about to help somebody. You don't even know it. Okay. So when you've ever made a mistake or a bet that you made did not work out, how did you explain that to leadership when you had to pivot?
Oh, man. Yeah. So this is fun because my boss is actually the CEO. He's also CMO. And so I think, honestly, it just comes down to how you communicate the test beforehand and setting it up, of making sure the expectations are there of, hey, we want to test this. So for example, testing like the Advantage Plus and testing the native targeting on Facebook. We talked about it. Some other people had saw success with it. So we're like, hey, let's give it a shot. But we're on the same page of, hey, we're willing to test this. It may or may not work. Let's document it and see how it goes. And so I wouldn't necessarily call it a mistake. It didn't work. You know, we have a really great relationship with our sales team, and they gave us the feedback, and they were like, these leads are crap. Let's turn this off. So we turned the test off, had a conversation. I'm very fortunate to have a boss where he values those things. He values those learnings, because then that's things that we can share with our clients. So we always treat Directive, our internal marketing team, as like the test bunny. We want to go crazy and do all of the wild tests, like test the things that people say don't do, and see how it works out. And we rather do it on ourselves than on our clients. Like we don't want to mess around with our clients' stuff.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that it works and then deliver the best and deliver excellence to them. So I'm very fortunate to have a boss that understands that and encourages that. And it's helped me quite a bit. I have been in situations in the past where it hasn't been as understanding. And I think there's a lot of disconnect there where, our CEO, Garrett, he's in the weeds. He can get in the account right now and do exactly what I do. He can do every single role at our company, down from strategist, SEO, paid. He can do it all, and he does. He gets very involved with it. I've been at a company before where leadership wasn't that involved and could not get to that level. And I think that's the case for a lot of people, of where that's where they start to see that disconnect of not understanding the test and not understanding, like, treating it more as a mistake rather than a learning. So I think setting that expectation up front and making sure that you guys are on the same page will save you later on.
Okay. Well, we've hit that point in the video where you're going to have to just eat these back to back.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to hand these to you. And we have 5 questions. One of them you already answered, so it makes it a little easier for you.
Yay.
So you get 30 seconds to answer each question.
Okay.
I think
Do I have to take this before every single one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My stomach.
Yeah, you'll regret it later, but this will be great content. So
can we get sponsored by these people as well?
I was asking about that. Also, Saratoga, Ashton Hall, I think we should also get
we
sponsored by them.
should.
Yes.
Fruity Riot.
At Whole Foods. Whole
I'll
Foods
at
is
your
sponsors
girl.
too.
All right. Okay.
Let's go first question. Best creative format on Meta right now for B2B?
Video.
Okay. Second question.
Wait. What? Oh my gosh. This is going to be terrible.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Second question. One Meta ads feature or tactic that's overrated and needs to die?
Advantage Plus.
Advantage Plus. Okay. I'll give you like 10 seconds to let that settle in. Psych. You're getting right back into it. Question number 3. If you had to choose one, Facebook or Instagram for B2B, does it matter? Which one would you pick as far as like the platform?
I think Instagram.
Really? For B2B? Mm-hmm. This is a fire. I love this. Okay.
Instagram Reels.
Plus the video, because you see, this is why you're here. Question 4. Advice for someone running their first Meta campaign. Are you okay?
No. Keep going.
Perfect. This is great.
This is power through.
Advice for someone running their first Meta campaign for a B2B SaaS company. What's the first thing they should test?
Audiences. That's what matters most. Your targeting. You will never see success on Meta if you don't get your targeting right. Start testing with your audiences. And if you have the budget, go ahead and test the native targeting. See how it goes, because I've seen it work for some people. It's worked for our sister company before. So make sure you test audiences. And then after that, focus on like the creative testing, the video ads. Go ahead and test like the static versus the carousel.
Okay.
But your first priority should always be that. Also, a fun little bonus.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and test the instant form versus sending to the website. I've seen some fun numbers around that.
You know what? I had a different question for the last one, but I'm going to ask that one. So what is your take on lead gen forms versus sending people to a landing page?
Any marketer is always going to say it's better to keep people on the platform. But I think really good marketers say that you should always test regardless. So if you're always sticking with what everyone's saying, you just never know. You never know what might work. He's trying to come in. You never know what might work for you, what didn't work for them. So We're running that test right now, actually.
Yeah.
So our sister company has seen a lot of success with seeing, shout out Abe. If you haven't heard about them, go look them up.
That's sis.
We'll
right
link
there.
them.
That's sis right there.
Yeah, that's sister. They've seen success with sending people to the website versus the instant forms and seeing really great quality leads. Mm-hmm. When we had tested in the past, we saw greater success with the instant forms. Cheaper, keeping people on the site, it all makes sense, kind of the traditional marketing. But we're running the test right now, and we should have some data soon. But I say go for the test. Who cares? Who cares if people say that, oh, it's better to keep people on the platform? Mm-hmm. Like, most of the time, that's true. I would say that's probably true for LinkedIn. But
looks like you're enjoying those.
I'm enjoying
these you're
now.
enjoying these. You've overcome that threshold. Okay.
Yeah.
So, last takeaway, if you could just let's talk about our ideal customer. A high growth CMO or VP of marketing, they never thought about Meta. What would be your last final takeaway to them?
That's a good question. Repeat it one more time.
So any takeaway at all, like if you were just talking to one of our ICPs and you pitched Meta to them and they were like, I don't know about it. What would be your first line of defense on why you would defend Meta as a pliable channel to test out for them?
Data. We have lots of it. We have tons of B2B clients who've run these tests. We run them on ourselves. Nothing speaks louder than numbers. So if there's a client that's hesitant about testing Meta, they want to see the case. You can pitch it all you want and say, this is a great idea. Again, we use Primer to do this. Get your TAM audience. You're going to see a lot of success with it. Those higher execs, people we want to talk to, they're going to say, that's nice. Where's the data to prove it? I think always come prepared. When you're trying to pitch a new platform, always come prepared with some data, with some case studies, have you run the test yourselves. What proves your point of why they should be on that platform. And then a lot of times, if you want to take it an extra step, is make sure you get projections in there as well. That really nails it home of, hey, this is our hypothesis. This is why I think you should be on this platform. Here's the success we've seen with it. Here's the data. And here's what the projections of what I think we can get for you. We'll revisit and we'll keep running that LTV CAC analysis while we're testing on Meta to make sure that we're spending your budget very wisely, because we're going to treat your money like it's our own, and we don't treat it like it's just free to spend. So that's my recommendation. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here from the Angie Glass-Liu on Meta Ads for B2B. With that said, we're going to go get Angie some water, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Yes, please. And I could use some coffee, honestly. That's like the number one thing of any marketer. Just stay strapped with coffee at all times. I walked in here and I was like, we got the Saratoga, but we ain't got no coffee. Can we have a second launch of this where it's like coffee and like consumerism, or coffee and
we'll do a spinoff. We'll do
marketing or coffee
special edition just for you. A special edition spinoff just for you. We got it.
And then we'll talk about Meta ads too, and maybe we'll bring some numbers.
Hey, let's go. I like it.
Okay.
Angie, appreciate you.
Pleasure. All right. Bye.